Warning: the following may contain twig blights. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, the party are on their last legs. Out in the Vineyard, John and Lord Talfrin are horribly injured and are surrounded by innumerable foes. Master Sunna has dispatched her druid, but is too far away to save her friends. However, Kellen has managed to find another druid hiding above all the action, holding a suspicious-looking staff.
Kellen, it's your turn. You're locked in combat with this big dude with his weird staff.
And his weirder tongue.
Can you please kill him? I feel like he's probably in charge of all the sticks.
That's my theory, and I'm going to kill him right now.
Do it.
Can I just kill him? Can I do my action?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, you're in melee with him right now, so you got to roll. Unfortunately, you can't just say he's dead. So.
Oh,
right.
15.
15 versus AC will hit.
That is a hit?
That is a hit.
Oh, good. 6
damage. He doesn't even seem to be trying to block a lot of these. You know, you open up a massive wound across his chest. His rags are soaked with his blood. He's still alive, though.
My next hack will be directly on his staff.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, okay.
All right. 21.
21 will hit. Do you want to roll a damage check for me?
6.
6?
Oh, wait, no. Yes, 6.
Okay. 6. So there is a crack from the staff, and the guy, the druid, just goes absolutely crazy. Like, he can't believe, he hugs it tight to him. It's not quite down. It's not quite fully snapped yet. But you can see that just the idea of it being destroyed just has him totally distraught, and you can see he's sort of backing away from you. He's not a happy man. But yeah, you certainly caused some damage. Is that your turn?
I'm gonna hack this. Get one more.
Okay.
I'm gonna hack the staff again.
All right, go for it. Make your roll.
17.
17 will hit.
Gosh. 6 damage again.
6 damage. The staff splinters, and as it splinters, the black energy that was swirling around it dissipates. But Kellen, your ears are assaulted by a horrific, inhuman howling, not coming from the druid, because the druid is just looking in disbelief at the ruin in his hands. Instead, it's coming.
Coming from Jean Marlemay.
It's coming from the remains of the staff itself, and it begins like a tidal wave building. You know, it starts in your room. Actually, it blasts throughout the enclosure, and actually, Master Sunna, you hear this inhuman howl as well, and it reaches the ears of Jean and Lord Talfrin. And as it does so, Jean and Lord Talfrin, you guys turn around and you see that the twigs are affected by this cry as well, and they all have their hands to their ears and they're vibrating, and suddenly they just explode and shatter as all of the twig creatures that you guys can see just vibrate and explode with the sound, this cry that has been caused, and on all the twig creatures are now dust. Not the druid, however. The druid in front of Kellen is particularly peeved at the moment.
Lord Talfrin, I did that. That's what a magician does.
No, I did this. I'm a wizard, and I know you're lying.
I'm a magician. You can't even compete.
You do rabbit tricks.
Kellen, is that your turn?
Did I Can I level up to level 10 now?
Yep.
Well done.
Okay, Kellen. In revenge, the druid he looks at the splinters as they just fall away from his hand, and he just looks at you with an unholy rage that you haven't seen since Kuriza. And then he leaps at you, and he tries to place his hands on your face as he goes for his thunder wave again, just right up in your face. So could you take a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, no. D20 plus my Constitution bonus.
That's correct.
All right. 15.
15 actually meets it. You actually succeed. But he does still get his hands on you, and you do feel the pain of his rage as it sort of grounds itself through you, as you still take 3 thunder damage. As he does that, but it is sort of impotent and ineffectual. Don't have any blights left. Jean, it's your turn. The creatures have just suddenly turned to dust. It's actually quiet now outside here. You're vaguely aware of the lightning from the room that Kellen is in. Above the loading bay, you can see it through the window, but you can't quite make out what's happening over there.
What I've learned from this is, don't go to the vineyard. Enjoy the wine. Don't go to the vineyard. It's like the same thing with bacon. Enjoy the bacon. Don't go to the slaughterhouse. This has been. There's a lot of light over there. We should probably dash over there and see if we can help our friends. Yes, I shall dash. I'll show you. Oh my God, a stitch already. Oh my Lord, 30 feet? 30 feet? That's far.
No, you could actually you could actually run up to it, because if you take a dash action, you'd be able to get sort of up to the building and actually slightly into it, technically.
Okay, I will do that and take a break halfway to vomit, just because it's so much running, but I will get in there and yes, that's what I'm doing.
You can see, just in time to see, you actually get a look up through the winch hole, and you can still see you can still see Kellen up there balancing on this crane above the loading bay.
Helen, I can see up your winch hole.
Okay, Master Sonna, it's your turn. You're aware of this horrific scream. Now you're actually, see the room that you're in, there's a set of stairs leading up to the balcony in the fermentation room. Do you remember where you saw the druid? And you're aware that one of the doors up there, that's actually where the sound seemed to emanate from for you, more than sort of back through the corridor, if that makes sense. So you've got a suspicion that that's where the source of the cry came from. Obviously you've no idea about the blights or anything like that at the moment.
No, exactly. Well, I should go investigate what that terrible sound was. Maybe one of my comrades is in dire need.
So you sort of sprint up the stairs onto the balcony that's around all these vats of wine. Yes. It's quite a bit of movement, but obviously you are fast. You've got your 50 feet, so we'll just say you open the door at the end of your movement, and it is into the room that Kellen is locked in combat with this man on balancing on the winch. So you can see that this guy has his hands on his face, and there's very familiar energy crackling from it. Do you want to do anything?
So I'm still a bit further away.
Yes, but 15 feet away.
Okay, but then I'll use my sunbolt on the guy.
Go for it.
It's 10.
Did you just roll a 10, or is there a modifier?
No, that was already with everything.
No, then that's a no. That's a no. So it just goes wild. The room sort of blooms, the light blooms of the room, but that's it. And the druid is just so intent on killing this man who destroyed his prized possession that he just doesn't really take any notice of it. Okay, Master Sonna, that's your turn on. Lord Talfrin, you are out in the vineyard, and obviously
I'm picking like terrible splinters out of my hands and arms, and looking around in dismay and disgust. This is John's run off again.
Yes, and you're aware of the combat taking place.
I am literally about to fall over dead. I'm out of magic, and this has been a terrible experience. So I don't dash in protest, but I do move towards the winery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if 30 feet gets me in there.
Nope, it does not. It gets you very close. I mean, you can catch glimpses of some kind of movement through the windows, but that's it.
No, fine, okay. I'll grumble, but I'll dash.
Okay, and then you sort of reach beside...
Reluctantly.
You reach beside Jean. You're in the bottom of the loading bay. You're looking up. You see Kellen up there. You see a bloom of radiant light, which you certainly recognize as Master Sunno's signature. That's it.
Do I have it? That's it? Dash is all I get?
You dashed, so you don't anything else?
Okay. I bleed on Jean.
I just want to say, you smell terrible. Like, don't...
I open like a
You should not dash.
Flesh. I open a flap of flesh that's been cut open and just bleed on him.
Okay.
Oh.
Kellen.
We're friends, blood brothers.
Ew.
This is not the kind of civic I wanted. I wanted like a wine brother, maybe a cheese brother. You know, a seashore.
Open one of your
house
wounds. Open
brother,
one of your wounds.
you
It's
know?
your turn. One of your turn.
Here you go, Gene. Here's a little blood.
Okay, Kellen.
John! It's John, for God's sake!
Okay. Kellen, you've got Druid with its hands on your face. Yes.
Not for long.
Not for long.
I'm going crazy. I'm going to kill him.
Yep.
All right, here we go. He's dead.
Do it.
Oh, wait. That's not going to do it. 11.
Okay, 11 versus AC will actually hit.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
11. 11 damage.
Would you like to describe the death of this man?
It's gruesome, and Kellen takes great pleasure in it as the druid just drips off of Kellen's form into this bloody, sickening heap, and then Kellen spits on him and says, "That wasn't cool, druid."
Okay. And the druid's body, as you sort of toss it aside, falls with a wet thump beside Lord Talfrin and Jean, and we'll end the combat there, guys. You've survived.
Yeah, we actually didn't die.
We are the champions.
I just want to say, like, when we think back to like how this all worked, it really was like Jean who brought it all together by running it away and then slowly running backward.
Well, Lord Talfrin's a little confused. One moment we were all waiting, huddled, cautiously optimistic as to the success of the scouting mission. And then everything went to shit. What happened? What happened? Lord Talfrin is completely flummoxed. He turns to our scout and I say, what took place within here? Why did they suddenly attack?
They like their wine.
Countered this druid woman poisoning the wine vats.
But
And
you were invisible, weren't you?
I was.
And you were going to come back and tell us about that, weren't you?
I wanted to make sure that she has the opportunity to maybe be greeted in a respectful manner and tell me her grievances.
And
But
then
she refused, so I entered a aggressive negotiation.
Wait. So it's an invisible person that you encountered. Can we say a druid or a strange like wood wizard? You decided upon encountering them with advantage to say, "Would you like to take advantage of me?"
No, I said, "Well met, fair traveller."
I think in the future when we send a spy into a situation, we need a shady character. I would like to recommend.
You just volunteered.
No.
I agree. I will drink some fine wine to that. Speaking of which, are we or are we not finally inside of the winery?
Yeah, but
Where?
Sunna saw them
Poison.
pouring weird stuff in there.
They couldn't have poisoned
A
all of
little
it.
poison, put hair on your chest.
So,
Can we find the untainted casks?
Are there any? I'm sure Kelly
There
could
were
drink
a
poison
few
stuff
doors,
without.
I did not scout that far into.
As you
the
guys
place.
are debating, I assume back down in the loading bay, you're aware of movement on the path that you travel down, and you turn around and you see Davian and his family, walking up the path. Not the children, but a good half dozen of the adults in his family are walking with him. And they're looking round in astonishment at the pieces of twig creatures, and they walk up to the loading bay, and Davian sees the body of the druid on the ground, and he looks up at the rest of you and he goes, have you dealt with it?
We have dealt with her and him, and I will say not without cost. This is a sort of removal of costs a great deal.
I can't believe I thought that all was lost. I thought that our home, we would never see the inside of it again. I thank you so much.
And you shall for a small pittance.
Words are wonderful, but money talks.
Blood is all over us. We're all. Is everyone bloody? Are you bloody? I'm bloody. Ah, McRag, you are mostly blood.
I am sure Erwin told you we do not have much in the way of money, but I will certainly see what we can do to compensate you.
Yes.
In some way.
Wasn't there a bargain that we struck with him?
There was.
If we do this for him, he would get into contact with his son again, and
yes,
and give us a lot of gold and untainted wine.
No, we're doing this whole thing so that the magpies look out for Irina.
Mm-hmm.
That was. I think that was.
You've not really spoken to Davian about that.
About this,
but it was Erwin that you.
But I think the manner in which we did it calls for a more significant reward.
I would say that we, as adventurers, we are terrible at making money, but very good at dying. Maybe we should start, when we, complete a mission, say, how about a tip?
And Davian...
Hand out our hats, pass the hat around.
Yes,
so Davian's
pass the hat around.
He's listening to some of this, and he says, I will do what I can. Erwin does not know of the trials that have been assaulting us here these past few weeks. This assault here, this was the final nail in our coffin. But unfortunately, if you are in contact with my son again, you will have to tell him that despite your best efforts, we are already ruined. The family is ruined. The winery will never recover. That those dice were already cast before the druids took us up here, and unfortunately, the valley of Barovia will suffer for it. However, my family have our home again, and for that I do thank you. And we will find and somebody's been away, and they've come back, and they've brought a sack of coins. And he passes it over to you, and he says, "That's the as I said, that's the least I can do. That's the best part of 100 gold pieces in there, and that's really all we have to be able to pass."
Well, Master Damien, I just wish to say that you should thank Erwin and not us, for it was his concern and love that sent us here, and it was his thoughts that guided our hands so that we were able to cleanse this place of its evil.
And Davian sneers when he hears his son's name. You can tell it's almost...
Don't you sneer at me.
A subconscious reaction. He says, Do not try to convince me that my son is doing this for the good.
It is a fact, and I assure you that we would not have come here were it not for his urging.
The vines of this winery will never grow grapes again, and that is a story that began with my son and has ended these past few weeks. As the magic that fuels the wine of the valley has been stolen from us.
Can I browbeat him with persuasion?
Yeah, go for it.
Because he's not listening.
He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah. A 19 is a respectable number.
Okay.
And I say, to be a man of the world is to understand that certain events are beyond our control. And the wisdom lies not in lamenting that which slips through our fingers, but in grasping tight that which remains. And the bonds of family, the bonds of love and blood, prove stronger even than wine. And in this I urge you to realize that your winery may indeed be turned to shit, but your son remains, and he is reaching out his hand to you now and saying, Father, maybe even Papa, let us hug once more. Let these ills and these wounds, let us set them by, and once again sit together by the fire, gaze into the crackling logs, and remember that love which was once ours and ours alone.
So Davian reaches out his hand and puts it on your shoulder, and you can see he's almost steadying himself, and he lowers his head, and you wonder, do you catch the glimpse of a tear from his face? But he brushes whatever it was away, and he says, "Aye, you are correct. I have held grudges for too long against my son. Now that I will not be making wine here anymore, perhaps it is time to reach out to him and to heal those bonds. Morning Lord knows that he will suffer just as much as the rest of us."
Well, I am glad that there's some joy has come forth from this tragedy. And we now shall sample some of your unpoisoned wine so that we may celebrate that which once was, and then we shall too be gone, like the mist before the sun.
But can we ask a couple more questions? Like, how can we make the winery make more wine? Like,
Good druid.
There is a reason that we are the only winery in the valley. The grapes or anything good in Barovia, it will not grow. It will not grow here. Only through magic has my family been able to make sure that this continues to happen. But that magic has been stolen from us. We used to have 3 seeds, 3 gems that we hid in the soil of our vineyards. But my son Erwin, he lost the first one 10 years ago. That was a bad enough blow, but unfortunately over these past few weeks the other 2 have been stolen from us. These druids were final.
So the druids were like flies that came to the carcass, but the removal of the gems was the real problem.
That is correct. We have managed to function for the last 10 years with just 2 of these gems, although the quality of the wine has much decreased since then. However, 3 weeks ago, Baba Lysaga attacked us and stole the second gem.
Who?
Baba what?
Baba O'Reilly?
And he looks at you in disbelief. He can't believe that this is a name that you've not heard before. You have never heard of the witch Baba Lysaga?
Is she the one who sold those nightmare pastries?
Oh my goodness, those are tasty. But like, I had weird dreams.
So Lord Talfin, his grip on your shoulder tightens, and he looks at you with much gravity, and he says, "Those the ladies who are responsible for those pastries are charlatans in comparison with Baba Lysaga. We know that Barovia is plagued with Strahd. If I was to put one other figure in the valley on par with him for her evilness and how dangerous she is, it would be Baba Lysaga in the lost town."
Is she a Vistani?
In the lost town of Berez.
Berez. Have we yet ruined a town called Berez?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It is not a town anymore. It was one once in the valley's history. Now it is just ruined, flooded buildings.
But she's still there.
Oh, yes.
And she has a gem.
2.
And
No,
what did...
she stole only one.
Just the one.
She
These
only has
druids,
one.
these
Okay.
druids are the ones who stole the last one. just a few nights ago.
So we now have that gem back because we killed them.
No. They took it south to Yester, where the rest of them live.
So if we bring that gem back, can you regrow new vines?
Absolutely, but
lads and ladies,
you've only dealt with a number of them here. This is their home.
Where is this lost town of Berez? Where was it?
It was. Have you heard of Valaki?
Yes. No.
It is about how it was about it's the road, the Sphalic road, as it travels west to the winery. About half the distance between us to Valaki. If you head south, the flooded town that Baba the Saga lives in is there.
Okay, that makes sense. So one last.
Please, do not dare go anywhere near her.
We wouldn't. One last question though, but I will maybe more. Magical weapons, like 100 gold is lovely, but like what I would really like is a stabby sort of thing that was infused with magic. That like when you stabbed it into a vampire, and that's what we call those mongrel children of Strahd, that they would die. Do you have any magical weapons or access or information upon them?
He shakes his head and he says, "No, the only magical weapons that I'm aware of are some of the staffs wielded by the druids of Yester Hill, the ones that attacked us."
McCrag, have you heard anything about magical weapons recently? Seen any magical weapons?
I broke one. It was a staff that I kind of broke.
In the future, let's like hack at the meat. Leave this hack. Leave it.
What worries me is what the druids plan to do with the magic now that they have it.
What do you think they plan to do?
I have no idea. We have used it. My family has used it for centuries to provide the village of Barovia. We do not make money. He looks at you in confusion. We take no.
Wait, we don't make money?
We make no profit from the winery.
Wait, where does 100 gold come from?
This is our family's. This is my family's savings. This is all we have. We.
Well, I think we're giving it back to you, right, John?
No.
Well, is there wine? If we give it back to them, do we have a promise of wine in the future?
My family. We do not come from this place. Many generations ago, my forefathers came here, and we have been stuck here for. And we realize that the evils of this world now, we fail to fight them with sword and shield, but we rally against them by providing.
We give the money back. We give the money back.
No,
it's the worst. We have to. McRag, you have no vote.
No,
you. All you've done is get captured, get caught,
and kill all the twin creatures. They were killing you.
You did do that.
If friends, I would happily give you this money if you could make the journey south to Yester Hill to take back this gem from the druids and provide my family with renewed purpose in the valley of Barovia. And we'll stop there for tonight. Sorry, I'm just stopping before anyone else speaks.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.